What happens when one of America's most influential newspapers calls out a former president for making a deal they believe could damage the nation's interests? Well, today, the Washington Post editorial board did just that, and they didn't mince words. Welcome back to the American Lens, your trusted source for U.S. political news and deep dives. In this episode, we're unpacking the sharp criticism Donald Trump just received from the Washington Post over what they describe as a side deal that's not only controversial, but potentially harmful to America's democratic values and global standing. We'll break down exactly what this deal is, why it's making headlines, and the political storm it's stirring in Washington and beyond. Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States and current frontrunner for the GOP's 2024 nomination, has never shied away from unconventional agreements. Over the years, he's cut deals political, personal, and business that often bypass traditional channels. But this latest move has caught the attention of the Washington Post editorial board, and they're warning that it could undermine both U.S. credibility and national security. While details of the arrangement are still emerging, here's what we know. Trump allegedly engaged in discussions outside of official diplomatic channels with a foreign political figure and certain domestic allies to shape policy in a way that critics argue benefits a select few, rather than the American public as a whole. Sources indicate the agreement could involve commitments on trade concessions, geopolitical positioning, or even the handling of sensitive information, all made without the backing or oversight of current U.S. officials. In a blistering editorial, the Post used the phrase "bad for America" to headline their critique. They accused Trump of putting personal and political gain above the nation's long-term stability. The editors argue that the deal could erode trust in U.S. institutions, bypass the democratic process and the constitutional role of Congress, and risk signaling to allies and adversaries alike that American policy can be shaped behind closed doors by private negotiations. Former federal ethics officials say that if this arrangement involves commitments to foreign leaders or private entities without government authorization, it could cross both legal and constitutional lines. While private citizens can speak to foreign officials, entering into agreements that affect U.S. policy could potentially violate the Logan Act, a centuries-old law aimed at preventing private interference in official diplomacy. The editorial warns that even if it's not technically illegal, it raises profound ethical questions about transparency, accountability, and loyalty to the Constitution. Democrats are already using the Post's editorial as ammunition, calling for investigations and demanding Trump disclose the full scope of his dealings. Republicans, meanwhile, are divided. Some of Trump's allies defend the movie, claiming it's an example of his deal-making genius, while others privately admit it's a risky play that could backfire. This split could further deepen internal GOP tensions as the 2024 race heats up. For voters, the issue boils down to trust and transparency. Do Americans want a leader who operates outside the traditional checks and balances, or do they believe those structures are essential to safeguarding democracy? The Post's editorial suggests that regardless of one's political leanings, the principle at stake is simple. U.S. policy should be crafted openly, with oversight, and in the interest of the American people, not negotiated in secret for political advantage. This story is still developing, and we'll continue to track both the political and legal ramifications. But one thing is clear: when a major editorial board brands a former president's move as bad for America, it's not just a headline, it's a warning. What do you think? Is this just partisan noise, or is it a legitimate red flag for American democracy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we read them all. If you found this breakdown informative, hit the like button, subscribe for more U.S. political coverage, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Stay informed and stay engaged.